Garth Brooks is here.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Yeah, doing great. Thank you very much. How are you all? Welcome to Pittsburgh, everybody. That's a joke. Happy birthday. That's the better one. All week long. It's going to be a great day for me. Couldn't pick a better city to spend your birthday in. Looking forward to it, and crew's looking forward to it. Anything goes this weekend, so forgive us, please. If the whole show goes to hell in a handbasket, it's a birthday prank or something, trust me. It's having a birthday on the road is rough, because you got 30 guys that are looking to get even for what you did for them on their birthday out here on the road. So it's going to be a great week. We're excited about it. Here with Miss Sherwood, and don't know what to say other than getting to play music. The big difference between now and then for me is guilt, or the lack of. In the 90s, Sandy and I were married. We didn't have cell phones, and we were gone all the time. I was gone all the time, so I wasn't much of a partner, and sometimes it'd be 4 or 5 days. So before you talk to each other, that guilt was there, and then when they hand you your first child, you know that guilt is going to set in. You just can't be away from your babies. And so the great thing about this tour is the children are off on their own, doing their thing in college. You're traveling the world with the love of your life, playing music. So the no guilt thing's really, really sweet. Enjoying it more than I ever have. And I never thought that I was ungrateful in the 90s. I always thought that I was thankful and hopefully had the best grip I could at a young age on what was happening. But this one, everybody is just so grateful that we're getting a chance to get to do it again. Can't thank you enough for that, and can't thank this city enough for its interest, the way it turned out in the numbers that it has. Now it's our job for them to walk away hopefully thinking that it was worth all the trouble they had to go through to get tickets and get here tonight and do the show. So basically with that, I feel much more comfortable talking with you than at you, so if you guys have questions, that'd be great. Unless Ms. Kim, is there something I need to cover?
No,
Okay.
they have questions.
Okay, great. What's your name?
My name's Scott Hayes.
Hey, Scott.
You mentioned the birthday. Do you feel like you're representing a certain age or a certain generation in your performing these days?
I did until August, until it moved back and the tour started in September. I knew something was screwy. I'm sitting there looking out, I'm about half the arena. I'm looking out going, hey, these are the people I wanted to come back. I know that person, another person, this person looks my age. The other half of the arena, we stopped a show in Atlanta because the girl the t-shirt she was wearing, the Garth shirt was older than she was. And so you start digging into Ticketmaster and you find out 43, 48%, somewhere around there, were 10 years old or not even born, when we toured last, that are buying these tickets. So, pretty cool. So, yeah, I did kind of feel my age till you get here and then you see these kids, and then, you know, you enjoy the youth that brings, and you enjoy the youth that brings the whole music. But what I also love about it is kind of what you're teaching them or passing down to them. A lot of these kids have never heard swing, so when you do long neck bottle, it's fun. So there's a lot of stuff that you're kind of, I would never claim to pass the torch that the great ones held, like Haggard and Jones. But you do have some kind of job or thing to educate the younger people on what traditional country music was, while they find out what current country music is on their own, kind of thing. Yes?
Dave Crawley, KDKAC.
Hey, Dave.
It's very rare when someone retires from the road at the peak of their popularity and then like 15 years later decides to go back on the road. What made you decide to stop, and what made you decide to start up again?
Kids and not kids. I mean, I guess that's it. You know, at the end of the 90s, 3 things were going on. One, I lost my mom. Man, that was a huge cave-in for me. I didn't expect it to hit me that hard, but it did. Second, I was going through a divorce. Third, now I can't depend on Sandy and the nannies to raise my children for me. And then a really weird thing happened in the fact that my oldest kid said the word both one day, but she said it both, almost with an L in it. I'm going, her nannies say that. So someone else was raising my kids. That was not my mom and dad's way. That was not. So I think it was something where you go, hey, look, it's got to say goodbye to it. If it's not there when we come back, get it. Do we ever get to come back? I get it. Thankful for what you got. Go and raise your kids. Little did I know at all that, no offense to music, it can't hold a candle to being a dad. Not near as fun. It's not near as rewarding. And it's awfully fun and awfully rewarding. But being a dad just blows everything away. So leaving that to go to that was good for me, not my kids. It was great for me. And then when the kids started leaving the house got really quiet. You realize, again, like everybody does, these guys have their own lives. They love you to death, but they've got their own agendas and stuff. And so you're sitting around the house and go, how do you want to spend the rest of your days? And if I could do it, get to play music, I'd be a very happy person. Yes, sir. What's your name?
Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Did you think you would be welcomed back the way you were by the fans? I mean, now you've got Luke Bryan and Nate Chesney and Jason Aldean, there's so much competition.
They're very sweet. Yeah, no, I was scared to death, to tell you the truth. But at some point, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to mention it. And then you're going to have to stick your toe in the water, see what happens. And Chicago was the first one. And in the 90s, you know, we still have our numbers in the 90s that you look at, and the goal was if we could do 50% of what we did in the 90s, we'd be very happy, because we saw a lot of people. And Chicago sets an attendance record, runs in about 120% of what we did last time. Atlanta follows the same path, and now everything starts to happen that way. So we've been lucky enough for attendance records to be falling as we go on tour, and feel very flattered that people are showing up. And it's our job, again, like we said at the start, to hopefully make these people feel like it was worth it when they leave here. Somewhere in Chicago and Atlanta, the struggle was, can I do this? You're just out there. It's like if you ever saw the movie Seabiscuit, when both of them come back from a broken leg and he's on that first turn going, oh God, what was I thinking, you know? And you start to get through this, can you get through this, can you do this? And then somewhere in Jacksonville, not only did it hit you could do it, but the thought of, you're doing this tour for the next one. That's a great feeling. And the people are who gave you that feeling. So they've been very receptive, very sweet. I don't want to jinx it, hope it doesn't all end here, but they have been fantastic. Giving you all the courage in the world to, again, feel like you did in the 90s when you played then. Yes, sir.
Jeff Davidson, Y108.
Hey, Jeff.
Talk about the difference in playing a tour in the 90s versus playing this tour, and what audience members might expect to be different this week versus what they might have seen back in the 90s.
Yeah, in the 90s, you were there's a cool little line in a song called "The Old Stuff" on us on our album called Fresh Horses. It says, "Young fools, no rules, coming from the old school." That's what we were. You routed everything for trucks and buses. So if you played Pittsburgh, Philly was probably next. You just kept going. Any place that would let you play is what you did. Well, taking the time off, watching how things are, now watching social media being born into the system, and then doing a gig for a guy named Steve Wynn for 4 years. Probably one of the most intelligent, smartest guys that care most about his customers than anybody. And he started talking about destination. How do you make each city not feel like a part of a tour, but feel like they're the tour? So we went on this rule of trying to do this 200-mile, 1-year thing where the cities are announced one at a time, so they feel like a destination. And we won't be back within 200 miles of that in a year, around there. So it makes people think, well, if I want to see this, I want to see it now. It brings an event to it. Hopefully at a price they go, oh, this is fantastic. Coming out of Vegas's prices, this is fantastic, you know. So that's what you're hoping happens. What really happens, they'll tell you on social media, you know. But that's kind of where you start, and that's the dream and hope that you can bring something special enough for these people to spend their hard-earned money and their time, and hopefully come with people they love to make memories that'll last a lifetime. Yes, sir.
Al Rowley, Pittsburgh Music Magazine.
Al?
Al.
Okay, nice to meet you, Al.
Nice to meet you. You're working on a Christmas duets album with your wife.
Yeah, we just didn't, well, we haven't even announced it yet, but you guys are out ahead of us, yes, yes.
Are you working on that on the road at all?
Well, the good thing is, traveling with her. So on the plane here today, we talked about it. Started putting together our first list of what we want to do. So how this will work for us is, because she's thinking, do we get it cut by the end of summer? I'm thinking we get it cut by the end of spring. Because right now we have a pretty good list of the songs we want. We know our players. So let's get in and see how that works. We have never ever done a full album together. So we might be rolling around the parking lot, pulling each other's hair out and punching each other. I don't know, but we're going to find out. Albums are very passionate, and a Christmas album is a good one to start on because everybody's got a wonderful spirit about it. Everybody loves it. But I can guarantee you this, we have already agreed, because we've had this thought, because remember, we've been trying to do a duet record for 25 years together. I started in '89, she started in '90. And her first tour she ever fronted was Garth Brooks. And the first Garth Brooks tour that I ever had an opening act was Trisha Yearwood. So we've been going that long thinking about how we do a duet record together. Never been on the same label till now. So we have a way that we think duet records should be done, and will, and it's not going to be like any duet record you've ever seen. But since we belong on the same label, there shouldn't be any contractual problems with it. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Kelly Gormley from the Tribune Review.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Have we met?
I don't know. No,
Have we never met?
so.
It's nice to meet you. You look familiar to me.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
It's really unprecedented to have 4 shows in a row, 4 nights in a row, and then on top of that, 2 shows on a single night, 2 nights in a row. How do you find the energy for that?
Very sweet. Very sweet question. And forgive me for repeating myself, but I have found the answer. So I've given this before, so if you've seen it somewhere before, it's not insincerity, it just fits so good. If your job was eating ice cream for a living, and your boss comes in and goes, hey, you're going to have to pull a double shift tonight, kind of thing, right? That's what I get to do. That's great. Now, the thing is, the reason why the double shows, let's talk about that. Northeast, a little more combined, so the 200-mile, 1 year kind of thing gets a little tough. So, hockey. Basketball isn't a situation in this town unless there's something going on that I don't like, a college or something that fills the thing. But arena space is really tough. So to get in and get to play, when we played Pittsburgh last, I think we were very fortunate to get multiple shows then. But we played on weeknights. Here, it's only available in a short window because of all the things that are going on. So you get in and get your job done. You know, places like Detroit, we were lucky enough to get 2 weekends, so you get to spread it out. So there won't be any I don't think there's any multi-show nights there. There might be, but yeah. So, but as far as the energy and stuff, you'll see, it's fun. If your early show's rocking, your late show's going to pick up right where they let. It's just that thing. If your early show is too early, then you always got your late night guys that are coming there and whoop it up. It's going to be fun. And then sometimes your early shows blow the late shows away because the late shows are tired. But I mean, it's just all depends, you know. And when I say about the shows, try to understand I'm talking about us and the people. That's what makes this show. For anybody that's never been to a Garth Brooks show, you're going to be amazed how much you don't watch the stage at all. You'll watch the people. You'll laugh your ass off. You'll cry. Just watching the people. They're a huge, huge part of our show, if not the show itself. Yes, ma'am.
Lisa Sylvester with WPXI. What are your plans for your birthday?
Well, birthday starts today, so you'll know. So that's how we kind of live our lives. If you're anywhere near a weekend or the day ends with Y, then your birthday's going to be about a week long, you know. And so Miss Yearwood's already had things happen from the time I hit the ground here. So it's just very sweet. You sit back and just let it happen, and just have fun. You know, as an entertainer, you can go one way. As a guy that runs a foundation that I'm very lucky to be with, you surround yourself with professional athletes. Lucky enough to have over 4,000 professional athletes. So to pick a team is what you don't do. Since I've been a baby, I've been a black and gold fan. I have. And in '80, when your blue and white became black and gold, I became a black and gold fan there too. So you're the only city with all 3 sports. You don't have an NBA team, and there is no NBA team that's black and gold. I don't want to mention that, but the window is there. You know what I mean? So it's, I'm in my city. If I can be that bold to say for my birthday, and this is going to be fun.